Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sushil. So in this tutorial we will see one more example based on the fractional function. So I have taken the example like integral part like modulus function of x is equals to fractional part of x. Now we have to find the values of x for which this equality is satisfying. Okay, so we know the value of this fractional part of x will lie in between 1 and 0 because we know the graph. Like this is one line, y is equals to one line, this is y, this is x, it will be like that. Okay, so this is lying in between 0 to 1. That means modulus function of x should lie in between less than 1 and greater than or equals to 0. Okay, so now we need to find the values of x for which this inequality is satisfying. Now what we will do? We will do simply, we will draw the graph of modulus function, mod of x, like this. It will be like this, y, x. I hope it is clear to all of you. This is modulus. This is graph of the modulus function. Now we will draw y is equals to 1 line and y equals to 0 line. Y is equals to 1 line will be like this, and y equals to 0 line will be like this. Now we need to take the values of x for which this portion is available, because we should focus only on this portion of the graph for which, because we need to lie in between 0 to 1 and I am including 0. Okay, so the values of x will be, this will be 1, this will be minus 1, because this is y equals to x line, this is y equals to minus x line. Okay, so x belongs to minus 1 to 1. So these are the values of x for which this equality is satisfying. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. Now I would like to tell you some important facts regarding graph of the function. Okay, so I am taking a random graph like this. Like this. This is y, this is x. It is like this. Okay, I am taking like this random graph. I don't know what is the function of this graph. Okay, so here this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E, this is I'm taking F. Okay, now there are some important notes that you should focus. That for x belongs to A to B. I am not including A and B, or we can say for A to B. Okay, what will happen? This is increasing function and the slope is continuously increasing. Okay, so what will happen? This is increasing, because if we are increasing the value of x from A to B, the value of y is also increasing. So this is called strictly increasing function. So for this, dy by dx will be positive. Okay, will be positive, and d2y by dx square will also be positive, because this is increasing function and concave up. Concave up. Here minimum, we will get minimum. Okay, because the graph shape of the graph is like this. This is I am taking a rough sketch. This, if anywhere you are absorbing in any graph like this, then this is the condition for the minimum. Here we are getting minimum and maximum will be at infinity. Okay, so maximum will be at infinity. So for this graph, we can say dy for this portion, dy by dx will be positive for each and every value of x belongs to 0 to infinity. We can check actually. And d2y by dx square will be negative. Okay. Will be positive. Sorry, will be positive because we are getting minima, na? At x equals to 0. So here at x equals to 0. In the 12th table NCERT or in the I should say 12th level calculus book, you have seen that if anywhere if we are getting d2y by dx square is positive, then it will be minima. So the graph of the curve should be like this. Okay. So here same thing I'm trying to tell you that dy by dx will be positive. That means this function is strictly increasing in between a to b, and d2y by dx square will be positive, concave up. That means like this. This is concave up. So here we will get minima. Okay. For B2C, what will happen? This function is decreasing, strictly decreasing. That means dy by dx will be negative. Okay. If a function is strictly decreasing, means if we are increasing the values of x from b to c, the value of y is decreasing. Okay. So dy by dx will be negative. Okay. And here this is concave down, like this, concave down. That means maxima. Maxima. Okay. So here the values of d2y by dx square will be negative. So here maxima, concave down. Okay. Concave down. So here is a straight line. The straight line means for C to D, dy by dx will be constant. Okay. So we can see will be equals to, will be positive. Okay. And it will be constant, we can say, because this is actually dy by dx represents the slope of any curve. Okay. So here the slope is constant, but it will be positive for every. So dy by dx will be positive. Okay. And d2y by dx square will be 0, because dy by dx is constant. If we again differentiate that constant function, then it will be 0. So we will get neither minima nor maxima. Okay. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now we will go for this portion. For this portion, d2e. Here again, if we are increasing the values of x like this, d2e, the values of y also increasing. Okay, are also increasing. So, okay, so the slope will be we can't say slope whether slope is decreasing or increasing. By observing the graph, we can say, but we can strictly say that dy by dx will be always positive for the increasing function, because this portion is increasing function now. And d2y by dx square, what will happen with this? This is concave down. We will get maxima in this portion. So we are getting maxima for this portion, so it will be negative. Maxima. Okay. And this portion also, I am writing here for d2e and g. Okay, I am just doing some corrections. d2e, now e to f. For e to f, what will happen? dy by dx will be negative because this is decreasing function, and d2y by dx square will be, what will happen with this? Will be positive, because we are getting minima here, because this is concave up type. Here this is concave up type. Okay. So and e to f, now f to g. What will happen with this? dy by dx will be 0, because there is no slope change. I mean, this portion is neither decreasing nor increasing. This is constant. constantly, and it will remain constant for each and every value of x belongs to f2g. Okay, so for this dy by dx will be 0, and again d2y by dx square will also be 0. Okay, so by observing the graph, we can say these points. Okay, these points. These are the points that you should notice and you should remember actually. One more thing I would like to tell you in this. If I am talking about a to b, for this portion, this is increasing function. That means dy by dx is positive. And here we can also notice that slope is continuously increasing. Like for this point the slope is like this. For this point the slope is like this. Okay, this theta portion is increasing. So what will happen? The slope is increasing. That means representation of the slope. We know that dy by dx represents the slope. Okay, so here the slope is increasing. That means d2 by dx square will be positive. Okay, if the slope is increasing, that means increasing. That means dy by dx is increasing. If this is increasing, that means d2 by dx square will be positive. So by observation, we also can say that d2y by dx square is positive. And what is the meaning of that? d2 by dx square, that will be a minima. Okay, that will be minima. I have already written here. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So I would like to tell you one more thing about the increasing and decreasing function. So in the next page, what I will do, I will make a graph. I will draw a graph like this, and this graph is increasing. Okay, that means this is y, this is x. This graph is increasing. This is x1, this is x2. Okay, this graph is increasing. That means, and this is concave. You can say this is concave down. So from this, you can say that dy by dx will be positive because the slope is this, because this function is continuously increasing. Okay, but slope is continuously decreasing because here is theta 1, here is like this, there is theta 2 and theta 1 greater than theta 2 by the observation, you can say. Okay, so the slope is continuously decreasing. That means d2y by dx square will be negative. Okay, that means we can say this is maxima. Okay, one more thing I would like to tell you as far as the increasing function is concerned, that if x2 greater than x1, then if the function is increasing, then we can say that fx2 should be greater than and fx1. Okay, this is the note that you should understand as far as the increasing function is concerned. Okay, for the decreasing function like this, y, x, this is decreasing function, this is x1, this is x2. If x2 greater than x1, we know x2 is greater than x1. Now if this function is decreasing, that means if we are including function on this x2 and x1, then what will happen? fx2, fx1. If the function f is decreasing, then the sign of the inequality will change. That means fx2 less than fx1. If x2 greater than x1, then fx2 will be less than fx1. For example, you can see with the help of the graph also. Or if x2 is greater than x1, then fx1 will be greater than fx2. This is fx2, this is fx1. This is fx1, this is fx2. Okay, so here x2 greater than x1, then fx2 greater than fx1. If x2 greater than x1 for decreasing function, then fx2 will be less than fx1. So I hope it is clear to all of you. So if we are imposing a function on any value of x, as far as the inequality is concerned, then the sign of the inequality will change. that function is decreasing. Okay, so I hope it is clear to all of you. Now we will see some another kind of functions like square functions. Square functions. Okay, so as far as the square function is concerned, the most popular square function is like this: y equals to x square, and this can be y equals to x to the power 4. Y can be y equals to x to the power 6. That means all the powers are even. So for these types of functions, we should say the graph of the function will be like this. Okay, this is the rough graph I'm drawing. This is rough graph I'm drawing. Only one value will be there. It is looking like there will be a number of values. Okay, only one value. At x equals to 0, y will be 0. Okay, this is x square. Y is equals to x square. Now y equals to x to the power 4. What will happen? It will be like this. Okay. What will happen? Because if we are increasing the power, then for less value of x, the value of y will be more. Okay. So here, as far as this, let x equals to 2, then the value of x for x square will be 4, and for x to the power 4 will be 16. So definitely this graph is correct. Okay. So this is the compare of two functions, that is x square comma x to the power 4. Similarly, we can compare x to the power 4 and x to the power 6. X to the power 6 will be like this. Okay. So this domain will converge. The opening of the function will converge if we are increasing the power of the x. So as far as the rough graph is concerned, the square rough graph is concerned, the graph of the function will be like this. Okay, this is y equals to x to the power n. General graph. Here x belongs to even integer. Okay, even integer, and it should be even positive integer. Okay, this can be n can be 2, 4, 6, and so on. Okay, and so on. So as far as the range is concerned, what will be the range of this function? Range will be 0 to infinity. Okay. Now domain, you can see the range will be 0 to infinity. From 0 to infinity, the values of y will lie from 0 to infinity. 0 will be included, and domain will be real, that is minus infinite to plus infinite. Here it will go asymptotically to the infinite. So here x value will also be infinite, positive x value will also be infinite, and negative x value will be minus infinite. Okay. So the domain of the function will be minus infinite to plus infinite. Now what we will see? We will see cube function. Y equals to cube function. Okay. As far as the cube function is concerned, like x to the power n, let n should be greater than or equals to 3, and should be odd. Okay, odd integers. Okay, I hope it is clear. That is n, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So the graph of this y is equals to x to the power n, where n is odd and greater than or equals to 3, and n is integer, then it will be like this. This is y, this is x. Okay, y is equals to x cube or x5, x to the power 5. It will be possible. Okay, so the rough graph will be like this. So here we can say for this portion, for 0 to infinity. That means for 0 to infinity, we can say dy by dx positive and d2y by dx square positive. That is minima. Okay. For this portion, and for this portion it will be for minus infinite to 0, dy by dx will be positive, as this is also increasing function, but the slope is continuously decreasing because this is concave up. So d2y by dx square will be negative. That is maximum. For this portion we will get maximum. Okay. Actually we will not get any maxima in this curve and this curve also, or minima in this curve also, because 0 is the point of inflection. At x equals to 0, note the graph is changing its concavity. That means here this is concave down, here this is concave up. So this is called point of inflection. Okay, so I hope it is clear and you can read this. So in the next tutorial we will see some more things regarding this cubical function. Before that I would like to tell you what should be the domain and range. Domain will be real, that means minus infinite to plus infinite, because each and every value of x can be sent. This function can take any value of x belongs to real. Okay, that is minus infinite to plus infinite. Okay, and range will be also be minus infinite to plus infinite, because from the graph also you can see. Okay, so in the next tutorial we will see some another kind of graphs. Till then, thank you guys.